Chapter 1 discusses the origins of theater. If we consider that theater is purposeful, intentional movement and vocal expression, we can say that theater has been around since we've been able to stand upright and use our voices. Early on, theater, even though it wasn't considered theater at the time, was used as a means of celebrating, empowering, supporting. It was all done as a means of having an impact on the group of people. Our exploration of theater begins in the 5th century BC in ancient Greece. At that time, theater was meant to celebrate, to entertain. It was included as a part of festivals in honor of gods. As we move forward, we will see that theater, while it still had the main purpose of entertainment, theater became a very valuable tool to educate uh, people, the masses, the uneducated, about Christianity. As we move forward, the purpose of theater remains as a source of entertainment, but it changes over the decades, over the centuries. Now, theater, as your text says, has three basic elements: what is performed, the performance, and the audience. You can't have theater without those three. What is performed is the play, the written text. Now, we will see as we move forward that sometimes what is performed is not based on an actual play. It can be a scenario. Some theatrical experiences or some theater is actually improvised. So, what is performed can vary. The performance is what happens when a director and actors and designers take the written word or the scenario or the idea for the improvisation and bring it to the stage. When you're working with a play, that means basically translating the written word to action, movement, and voice. Finally, the audience. You cannot have theater without an audience. Theater is a performance, it is a performative art form. Someone has to be there to experience it, to make it realized, to make it real, to make it happen. When we talk about theater as a form of art, this is live. This is live theater. Um, And we have to talk about art as a part of our culture and this type of art as a part of our culture. That those forms of entertainment that appeal to the greatest number of us, um, television, popular music, popular movies, social media, all of this is considered popular culture. When we talk about things like the ballet, a performance of the symphony, an art exhibition. This is considered elitist culture because those types of art only appeal to a select few. Unfortunately, theater falls into the category of elitist culture, but we can see with popular plays on Broadway now that theater is becoming more appealing to a greater number of us. Consider Hamilton, or plays like The Lion King, or gosh, so many popular plays. Look at, I mean, this might, you might not be aware of this because you're young, but Phantom of the Opera has run on Broadway. I think it's about to close now, but it's been running on Broadway for over 30 years. That's an amazing statement about how a play can become popular culture. So those examples of how theater moves out of that elitist category and becomes popular culture. Now, there are special qualities of theater that your text highlights, and they should be mentioned. There are five of them. First of all, theater is lifelike. When we go to the theater, we see people that we can identify with doing things that we are usually familiar with. It is lifelike in that way. It is representational. It represents us on stage. Theater is ephemeral. That means it happens and then it's over. This is one of the hardest things to accept about theater is that really every night is a different performance. It is, and it's all because we are human beings and things change. And, you know, tonight's performance will not be exactly like tomorrow night's performance. You have one shot to do it. And once you do it, it's over. Number three, objectivity. Plays follow a logical sequence usually. Things happen because the playwright created the play in such a way that it makes sense. And characters all exist within a play for a reason, and each character has a desire for something, wants something. Playwrights consider different qualities of characters in assembling the play, but the play moves forward with a purpose. Number four, complexity of means. When we put a play together, when we transfer the play from the written text to performance, it takes a village. You have a director, you have actors, you have designers, you have musicians, all of us working together to create that production, that performance. And finally, immediacy. When we see the play, we are experiencing the action as it happens. It's happening in front of us right now. Your text talks about art and value. Basically, that is saying that if you like it, it's art. If it appeals to you, who's to say that you are not a good judge of the quality of the art? Do you know what I'm saying? If you, say, for example, a friend paints a portrait of me and gives it to me, and I like it. I think it's a good likeness. I enjoy this. And I like it so much, I'm going to hang it in my house. Now, people will come to see that drawing, that painting, and say, wow, that's amateurish. What's up with that? The point is, I like it. And if I like it, then for me, it is art. The same thing goes for every other art form, whether it's music, visual art, dance. If it appeals to you, if it speaks to you in some way, you can accept it as art. Now, there are two categories of art: fine art, useful art, maybe others. But with fine art, there are definite parameters that it has to meet or fit. Um, and we recognize it as such. I know that that portrait that my friend painted of me is not the Mona Lisa, but it, for me, is art. be back.